Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shannon, and if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. If you are one of my subscribers or returning followers, thank you so much for coming back. Today's video is really exciting, and it holds a near and dear place to my heart because I have fallen very deeply in love with an eyeshadow palette. And I didn't even want it when I first saw it. So, I remember seeing on Mood. Actually, I think one of my friends sent it to a group chat first, like the reveal of the actual palette. But I remember looking on Mood at this bad boy, the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. This retails for $65. There are 18 shades in here, so that would be $3.60 a shade. And there's 12 milligrams of product in here, so it's like 0.6 milligrams per pan. You can buy this on hudabeauty.com, and if you spend $75, I believe, you get free shipping, or you could pay $20 shipping. So I would definitely like throw another like $15 brush in, because then you get, it's cheaper than the shipping. You can also, what? I tell him not to talk when I'm filming. You also can buy this on Sephora's website. I don't know if they have it in store because I haven't been to my Sephora lately, but this packaging is gorgeous. Like, whew, like, oh my god. Look at this gorgeous bad boy. So let's open her up. And it does have the Huda Beauty eyes that are on all of her other palettes. I believe they're her eyes. And this is what it looks like. It does say the new Nude eyeshadow palette. High pigmentation, easy to blend, talc free, 18 eyeshadows and 5 ready to layer textures, 10 mattes, 4 reflective shadows, 2 pressed glitters, 1 pressed pearl, and 1 concealer base. I thought there was more pressed pearl. I thought there was 4 of them. So which one is like the actual pressed pearl? 4 multi-reflective shadows. Okay. 1 pressed pearl and 1 concealer base. Oh, this is the pressed pearl then. Right here. I forget about this one. Why didn't I use this in a look? It's so pretty. David. Also, you do get a concealer base. This right here is a cream concealer. I do use it in this look. I'm going to swatch very quickly the shades I used. So we did use the concealer base. So we're just going to put that right there. You can't really see it. We started out with Lace, which is that matte. And then we went into Love Bite. Oh, of course, Love Bite wants to be patchy in a swatch, and it's really not on the lids. And then Spanked we used. And then I used Crave, which is one of my favorites. And you can put Crave over the base. Let me do that really quick. So here okay, so there's Crave by itself right there. And here's the base. Now I'm going to put Crave over the base, and you can kind of see it makes a little more opulent, or whatever that word is. I'm probably saying it wrong. I used Daydream for my inner corner highlight. It's amazing. And I used Excite under my waterline. And Excite is one of those glittery ones, but that's with no base, no primer. I didn't have any primer on my arm. I am going to film a swatch video after I finish this one while it's saving and uploading. I will link that when it is finished, because It's definitely a swatch-worthy palette to have its own swatch video. So yeah, I remember seeing this color story and I was like, I'm not going to get it. Long story short, I had the first one, the rose gold, and then I had it even remastered, the remastered version. And it gave me an eye irritation. No matter which version I was using, my eyes would get all itchy and puffy and watery. And it was like I wanted to dig my eyes out. Now, I really tried. I tried multiple different primers, bases, and it didn't work. I ended up having to take Benadryl a couple times. So I sold them to my friends, and when I saw this, I was, oh, and then the Desert Dusk one I had, and it didn't make my eyes irritated, but I just never reached for it. So I gave it to a friend of mine. So when I saw this, I automatically said, God, the mini Obsession ones are the only Huda palettes that ever work for me, so I'm not about to spend $65 to get it. And then my husband last week said, hey, you know, everything's been going really good at work and everything, so I'm going to buy you a palette. Which one do you want? And it was during the Sephora Rouge sale, so I got 20% off, and this was only $55. So, with that being said, if you would like to see how I achieved this eyeshadow look, using this palette, then please keep on watching, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell so you're informed every time I upload a video. And if you do in fact enjoy the video after it's done or halfway through or whatever, then please give it a big old thumbs up and leave me a comment down below and let me know if you've used this, if you plan to pick it up, what you liked about it, what you don't like about it, why you're not picking it up, or why you want to pick it up. And with that being said, let's get right into the look. Alright guys, so I did use the Smashbox Photo Finish Blur Primer all over my face and the ColourPop Fair 00 White Concealer all over my lid. I used my Sapphire Beauty Blender to blend that out. The first brush that I went in with was the Morphe, oh, what is that number? I don't know where that went. Oh, it's the Morphe E27. It's a big fluffy brush. I just used that and the shade Bare to set my primer slash concealer. A little nervous. This is my first voiceover. And I then used the Morphe Bling Fling Fluffy Brush and the shade Lace, which is a nice matte transition shade. I did use that one to put the shade Lace into my crease and blended it out. I did not have to use a lot of product. I maybe dipped in like 3 more times and built up the pigmentation that I wanted. You can build this up as much as you want to get it as dark as you want, or keep it as light as you want. I know some people prefer lighter eyeshadow looks. And then I took the Morphe M441 and blended that out a little bit more. Then I took Love Bite on a, let's see what brush I used for this one. I couldn't find my brushes. They were scattered because I've been filming all day. The Sigma Small Tapered Blending Brush, the E45. Just to put Love Bite right in the outer corner in a back and forth motion. And then I take it a quarter of the way in to just place that where I'm going to end the cut crease, and back and forth building it up. And then I take that Morphe M441 again and blend everything together. Just blending Love Bite in with that lace shade. You can never have too much blending when you do eyeshadow. That's for sure. My husband calls it blender for a beauty blender because he's funny like that.
That's not what I call it. That's what the guy calls it.
Now I am taking the Sigma. Well, I was looking for it. That is the Sigma Tapered Blending E35. And then that is the Morphe M330, which is a blending brush. And the shade, well, that one right there is back to the Sigma Tapered Blending E35. And the shade Love Bite and then Spanked. And then after the first dip, I mixed them for the first one, and then after the first dip, I only went into the shade Spanked for the crease. I kept Love Bite more on the end, and then I built up the pigment with Spanked for the bottom part of the crease. And then I took the same brush that we used for the shade Lace, just to blend it out, the Morphe M441, and made sure that you could still see a little bit of a difference between the two shades. And this is where my wrist was getting tired from blending. Put a little bit of Spanked on the inner corner and blend it out. I know it looks like there's a lot of kick up and fallout, or you know what I mean. Yes, there was a little bit. Now that was back in with the Sigma brush. The E45. And then this one that I'm about to use, oh, that's my Esom S33. I love that brush for like finished blending. And I took the shade Bare and put that under my eyebrow and let it hit the lace shade, so you have like an ombre effect. Yeah, the kick up looks really bad, but it left no fallout on my face. A little bit. It did leave a little bit, but those are my Equate makeup remover wipes. I always use the cheaper ones just to clean up everything because I would go through them too fast if they were expensive. Just cleaning up the nice edge there. And then once again taking lace and making sure that lace is still represented because I love that shade. It's probably my favorite shade in the palette as far as mattes go. And then taking Spanked and Love Bite and just making sure I really get that in. That's the paddle one. The Sigma E25. I believe that's the last time I need to tell you guys that, or I'm going to get real repetitive. But that brush is really good for packing on pigment and then blending right in the crease. It also helps if you have a little bit of creasing going on. Now that is my favorite blending brush of all time, the Morphe E22. I usually use that also right before I cut my crease. And that brush that I just showed you guys is the Sigma F75, the concealer brush. And then we take the shade Concealed and start cutting out the part that we're going to use the pearlescent shades on. Or no, these shades are multi-reflective shadows, but they do have pieces of pearl in them. So pretty, you guys. I mean, this eyeshadow palette just blew me away. And I tell you guys in the video intro and stuff that I didn't even want to buy this palette. See, this is where you got to clean up your crease. I did open my eye thinking it would help me like outline my cut for the cut crease, but this product in particular, the cream base concealer shade, is a little too thin to help you create that nice fine line when you're cutting your crease. Oh geez, I wish I wouldn't have just stuck my thick hair in your faces after I wore hairspray all day. So this is where I'm showing you guys that I did clean up that line. You definitely want to make sure you have a nice, straight, solid line there. And you carve out exactly where you want to put the shimmer shades. And then I did clean up the edge right there by blending in a little bit more of Spanked. with the brush that we used earlier and just going right over the top so it's a little bit more defined. And now I'm taking the shade Crave. Look at that, guys. Holy heck, it's so gorgeous. Crave on my Sailor Moon paddle brush. I did use my finger a little bit just to set the first layer down. But these work without wetting your brush. You can also use these without the cream base concealer shade. You don't need anything under them. They do work great, especially once you break in this palette and they get a little oily from your skin. They are amazing. So I didn't realize that I wasn't in the viewfinder. I apologize. It's been a rough day for filming. I filmed a video with Sultry and I went as far as editing it and uploading it, and I ended up deleting it because I just did not have enough time to blend out the second eye that I did off camera. And I was like, you know what, I know I can do better with that palette because I love it. And I deleted it, so I apologize. I will be refilming that tomorrow after our Skincare Sunday footage is filmed and uploaded. I have like pearl pieces on my eyelashes right there. Oh my god, how embarrassing. So, of course, I'm a perfectionist, so I always go back over my maths a million times. Look at that, Shannon, you already have enough pigment down. Just stop. Just stop blending. It's like I can't until my OCD says, okay, we're satisfied. I'm a goof, I know. All right. Oh boy, nope, she got another brush and she's blending again. Jeez Louise. If I knew how to do... Babs, shh. If I knew how to speed up footage without losing half of the footage, like speeding up just certain parts, and then I would totally do that. And I'm going to ask my mom, oh, this is the shade Excite, which is the all glitter, it's the pressed glitter shade. I'm going to tell my mom that I want her to buy me some better editing software for my birthday, which is in December. So I did take my flat Alamar Cosmetics brush and sprayed it with some Fix Plus and dipped it in the shade Excite after tapping off the excess Fix Plus on the brush. And then my pencil brush from the Bling Fling Morphe Holiday 2018 set with the shade Love Bite. And I took that on the outer edge, and Excite was on the inner corner, and I met them in the middle and blended them together nicely. And I did take my Storybook Cosmetics brush in the shade Daydream for my inner corner highlight. And my Superhero Mascara by IT Cosmetics. I do always start at the base and go in back and forth motions. It does help you get a little bit more volume and then drag the pigment to the end of the lashes. And the more pressure you put at the base, the better chance you have of really extending your lashes to their full potential. I didn't realize I got a little bit of mascara on my eyeshadow there. I do clean that up later, I promise. Oh boy, I'm such a hoot. Do my lower lashes. Look at that mascara. Jeez, girl. How did I not see that? Oh, by the way, I love my new Jeffree Star Bomb Pop Popsicle Mirror. I had it since it launched, and it sat at my house forever, and I finally used it. This is the Kat Von D Aubergine 24-hour long-wear brow pomade. And my Morphe Bling Fling liner brush with the spoolie on the other end. Now, I'm not really good at doing eyebrows, so that was where I dropped my mirror. I usually do a little bit thicker on the inner part of my eyebrow, and then I just go over what I already have. I really would like to learn how to do eyebrows better, but no matter how many tutorials I watch, I just can't seem to like get it down pat. But it is something that I'm working on. along with learning how to wear false lashes. I would love to be able to film a look for you guys and top it off with lashes at the end. I just have such long natural lashes that it becomes really uncomfortable for me. So I have to keep trying. I really would like for that to be a goal for New Year's. And then I use that shade Daydream for a little bit of sheen, shimmer, reflectiveness under my brow. I think I forgot to do that on the other eye off camera. Oh, look at that mascara. Jeez, Shan. Alright, so I do the rest of my... Hey guys, so we're back with the finished look. I really did enjoy how this one turned out. And I ended up using my MAC Kaleidoscope highlighter. Looks like so. Very gorgeous. I really do love it. I also used my Pat McGrath Possessed liquid lipstick. This is a perfect shade to match this whole entire palette. And I needed to use mine up before it gets too old. And the Aubergine Kat Von D Dip Brow goes perfect with every shade in this palette. They're all in the same like shade range. So if you're looking for a good brow to go with this palette and you don't mind using different colors for your brows, this is like $19 or $20, so definitely check it out. I used my Marc Jacobs pencil for the underneath, or the waterline. And I did use my Milk Makeup Star Stamp. I love this thing. It's so fun. You just stamp it on, washes off the next day. I wasn't going to put the star stamp on because I don't usually in videos, but I really just love this look, and I wanted to give it a little pizzazz, I guess you could say. So I believe that's all I have to say about that. My final thoughts on this palette are, I don't have anything like this in my collection. They swatch well, they blend well, they build well. I did notice, however, the shade Lace and Love Bite, they do oxidize a little once they're already on your skin. So when I did this one, I used my ColourPop No Filter Concealer as a base, and then I set it with the shade Bare. I'm not going to go over what I did, but I'm telling you, so when I did this eye off camera, I decided to go in with a different primer. I was going to use my MAC Paint Pot, but I used that the other day with this palette. So instead of using the concealer base, because I really don't want to use that up all the way yet, I tried the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the original. I just wanted to try and see if the oxidation was a little bit less. So on this side, it did not oxidize as much as it did this side. This got a little bit deeper, this slate shade. And on this side, it didn't really do that as much. But it also didn't blend as well with the different primer. I don't know if that matters to any of you, but that is what I noticed. Also, these 4 special shades, we have Crave, which is right here, Fantasy, Daydream, and Charmed. So when I first got these, I swatched them without the concealer base and it didn't turn out very good. And then I swatched them with the concealer base down first, and then I also swatched them a different time with my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime, duh. And they swatched beautifully. But since I wore this almost 3 days out of this week, yeah, almost all week. I wore it 3 days this week to work because I wanted to make sure I knew how to use it well before I filmed with it and gave you guys my honest opinion on it. So now you can see, since I've been using these shades, I think it might be the oils from my fingers, but it has definitely broke them in, and like they give off the most insane pigment ever. And I think it is because the oils on my fingers like really just, I don't know, synced. It's getting late, guys. I think it's sunk in and just made them so much more like creamy And if you're using a paddle brush, you can dig into the shade a little bit. Here, I'll show you guys on my nail, and get one of these little pearl pieces. Now let me show you guys what happens when you rub in the pearl piece, okay? I'm going to lay it here down on my hand. So you see that right there? If you use one of those little pearl pieces, it rubs in with so much sheen, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, and it gives it a little bit more dimension. So I try not to dig too far, but you can usually find those specks in there and then do blend them in. That is my only advice on using this palette. I don't think it's beginner friendly. I think if you have like moderate to medium experience, you'd be good with this. Of course, our expert MUAs are going to be pros with this. But if you're going to spend money on a palette before the end of 2018, go for this guy. Right now, Sephora is having another sale, so you can definitely pick this up, and it will be worth it. I promise. I wouldn't steer you guys wrong. I've given very bad reviews on eyeshadow palettes on this channel before, like the Tarte Sweet Escape, the Urban Decay Naked Cherry, but when something is good quality, and this is not one of my favorite brands at all. This is like way down on my list of brands, but this is definitely a must-have, and it's Shannon approved. And with that being said, if you did enjoy this video and enjoyed the look that I came up with, then give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe before you leave. I'll see you guys in my next video. Tomorrow is episode 1 of Skincare Sunday, so don't forget to look out for that tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for stopping by, ladies and gents, if there's any gents. Thanks.